Hello, and welcome to this latest update on the work that Dorset and Wiltshire Fire and Rescue Service have undertaken since the last authority meeting in December. My name is Sarah Nell, and I'm a firefighter in fire control. When someone calls 999 and asks for fire, it's me or one of my colleagues they speak to. In recent months, we've had a number of large incidents that have each resulted in a number of 999 calls. So let's take a look at some of them. In December, severe damage was caused to a block of flats in Poole Road, Bournemouth, after fire broke out in the roof. At the height of the incident, there were approximately 60 firefighters on scene, including crews from Hampshire. A total of 62 residents were safely evacuated from the building, including 21 rescued by firefighters. Residents have now started to return to their properties following the completion of roof repairs. A large trailer of straw was destroyed by fire on the M4 in January, causing significant traffic disruption until the following morning. Firefighters worked with Wiltshire Police and National Highways at the scene, with a telehandler brought in to move the straw to the hard shoulder, where it was broken down and doused with water. A fire that destroyed a semi-detached house in Heytesbury near Warminster in February was caused by a boiler fault. The occupants were alerted by the smoke alarm. A person who was trapped upstairs received fire survival guidance over the phone from one of my colleagues in fire control before being helped to escape from a window by a member of the public. On the evening of the 17th of February, fire control received the first of multiple 999 calls to report a blaze involving a large house in Westbrook between Melksham and Calne. 16 fire crews attended from across the service, as well as numerous other appliances. Despite the severity of the fire, firefighters managed to prevent the fire spreading to adjoining properties. Renovation work had been underway, and it's believed the fire started accidentally. Assistant Chief Fire Officer Andy Cole, who attended the incident, was able to brief the local MP and councillors on the great work of firefighters. February also saw three named storms in quick succession: Dudley, Eunice, and Franklin. While all three led to damage across our service area, it was Eunice that had the most impact. On the 18th of February alone, over 300 emergency calls were received by fire control in a 9-hour period. On the 23rd of April, nearly 170 emergency calls were received in fire control for a large fire on Camford Heath in Poole. 16 fire engines, 6 small 4x4 appliances, and 4 water carriers were needed to tackle the blaze, including many resources from Hampshire. 20 nearby properties were evacuated as a precaution, and a nearby leisure centre was opened as a rest centre by BCP Council for those affected. This was one of 4 heath fires we had to deal with in just 4 days. The following week, Chief Fire Officer Ben Ansell and the incident commanders hosted a site visit by Michael Tomlinson, the MP for Mid Dorset and North Poole, together with Councillor Toby Johnson from the Fire and Rescue Authority. They were able to see the extent of the fire damage, how close it came to adjacent housing, and the excellent work of firefighters in containing it. Another incident that led to multiple 999 calls was a fire at a landfill site near Calne on the 27th of April, involving approximately 40,000 tonnes of waste and 2,000 tonnes of tyre bales. A significant smoke plume affected the local area, and it took over a day to fully extinguish the fire, working with on-site staff. Of course, behind every successfully managed incident is robust training to ensure that our crews are ready for whatever they may face. Paramedics from South Western Ambulance Service were invited to Westmore's training centre over 3 days during February to take part in several training scenarios involving a staged road traffic collision. Training like this gives all participants an insight into the best ways to work together. Royal Wootton Bassett Fire Station partnered with Wiltshire Search and Rescue, known as Wiltshire, and ambulance service colleagues in February to undertake an exercise involving individual chemical exposure. We held a large-scale exercise at MOD Lynham on the 26th of March. The scenario was based on a civil disorder where fires were set and a chemical leak occurred, requiring mass evacuation and decontamination. Fire crews from Avon and Gloucestershire took part, as did Wiltshire Police, South Western Ambulance Service, Lynham personnel, and 40 volunteer role players, including students from New College, Swindon. During April and May, Dorset Police held 6 training exercises to test the multi-agency response to a marauding terrorist attack. Officers and crews from across the service took part alongside specialist responders within each emergency service and a large team of volunteers, including from the military. Each of the 3-hour sessions were dynamic incidents which tested the capabilities of the various commanders and operators, including armed response. In April, Assistant Chief Fire Officer Andy Cole and other officers and staff attended a special thank you event held by the Mayor of Salisbury at the city's Guildhall. This brought together people and emergency service personnel involved in last year's train crash near Fisherton Tunnel. I was lucky enough to be invited, and together with colleagues from Fire Control, firefighters from Salisbury and Wilton, and senior officers, it was good to meet those affected by the incident and talk to them about the impact of our work. We're continuing our active recruitment work for new on-call firefighters, with have-a-go events and drop-in information sessions being held at fire stations. A targeted approach is being taken, focusing on 1 or 2 stations at a time, with on-call support officers visiting local businesses and using local social media to share the messaging. On the 29th of April, a pass-out parade was held at Salisbury Fire Station for the latest group of 7 new whole-time firefighters. They had completed their 8 weeks of training covering basic skills, working at height, road traffic collisions, casualty care, and using breathing apparatus. It was a chance for their families and friends to see what they had learned and to celebrate their success. Within Control, we currently have 6 staff in various stages of training and development, and we have just undergone a fresh recruitment campaign to bring in more new starters in the coming months. One thing our new starters learn is that all staff, whether operational or corporate, have access to a number of staff networks. These include Fire Pride, Minority Ethnicity, Operational Women, Corporate and Fire Control Women, and Neurodiversity. I can speak from experience that these are great to be involved with and help our workforce to have a more prominent voice, which creates opportunities for us as a service to develop and further improve. In February, Station Manager Sam Allison, who is also a semi-professional football referee, supported the 15th anniversary celebration of the PL Kicks scheme at Swindon Town Football Club. Over a third of the young people taking part in the football festival were girls, and Sam was able to promote the fire and rescue service as an inclusive employer. On the 8th of March, we marked International Women's Day and its theme, Break the Bias, by collaborating with a number of events and using social media to post and share content that celebrated the women in our fire service. We also held an Equality, Diversity and Inclusion workshop at Devises Training Centre on the 9th of March, which was open to all members of staff and included discussions around the core code of ethics. Prevention is a major part of what we do, and our road safety and education teams have been coming up with new and different ways of delivering their life-saving activities. These interactive displays take a lead from the traditional British seaside picture boards, using humour and behaviour change techniques to share important road safety messaging. The education team have developed online resources to encourage children to learn essential safety messages, such as being water aware, with the chance of winning a visit to a fire station. These competitions were held during each school holiday and promoted on social media. New videos have been produced to support education around heath fires. Different versions have been made for Key Stage 1, Key Stage 2 and secondary school students. Now that our COVID restrictions are fully lifted, our youth intervention team have been able to restart Spectra courses, fire cadets and face-to-face Prince's Trust team programmes. Working with a range of partners, all of these schemes are designed to use fire service role models to encourage team working, improve self-esteem and confidence, and teach new skills. Whole-time firefighters are now carrying out business fire safety checks. This is a key initiative which helps crews to refresh and increase their knowledge of fire safety, allows them to recognise and become more familiar with local and community risks, have a positive impact on other work undertaken by the protection team, and make our communities safer. We have already completed over 210 visits and at least 200 more are already booked. Finally, the 12th of May saw us hold our annual awards ceremony in person for the first time since 2019. Nearly 300 people gathered at Tidworth Garrison Theatre with presentations made of long service and good conduct medals and certificates, Chief Fire Officers commendations and awards for on-call employer, making a difference and young achiever. All recipients are to be congratulated for their outstanding professionalism, commitment and support. I hope you've enjoyed watching our updates. It's been a very busy few months, and in addition to everything I've covered, we've also had our inspection by Her Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabularies and Fire and Rescue Services. This was a 6-week inspection that involved individuals and teams from across the service. We expect to receive our final report later in the year. Please visit our website if you'd like any more information about anything that you've seen.